You are ready to turn your life around, and you can turn your life around in just 31 days. It doesn't have to take a lot of hard work. It just has to take focus and being devoted AF. If you've been like going back and forth on an idea or goal that you have, or you're just ready to go all in to your purpose, you need to tune into this frequency of devotion. It's not about forcing yourself to do things that you don't want to do. It's about finding and following that yearning feeling, that desire to do these things. Ultimately, your passions, whatever it is, art, music, business, you have a desire to do these things for some reason. You're good at what you do. You love what you do. It inspires you. You love helping people. But oftentimes along the way, there are steps that we might feel resistance in. We don't want to set up the Instagram for the new art page. We don't want to make the phone calls. We don't want to go through the DMs. But what if you truly tapped into this feeling of devotion, of even when you don't feel like it, even when you're not motivated, and especially when you're not motivated, you still show up because this is something at the end of the day you still really want to do. It's following that yearning versus following what you feel like doing in the moment. There's 6 things that I really want to talk to you about with this, because this month for Better Your Mind, my membership, the theme of the month is called Devoted AF. And every member of the group picks one habit that moves a needle forward in their bigger goal and their bigger vision. And we have the private group chat for like the accountability every day. And my one habit, because I love doing the challenges with the group, my one habit is posting on Instagram every single day, because it's been years since I have posted consistently on Instagram. I've been more focused on the back end on YouTube. And I felt like it was time for me to get back into that and start growing my audience on that platform again. And let me tell you, I did not feel ready. There was a part of me that was like, I don't really want to do this, but I also want to do this. And the part of me that didn't want to do it, that was the fear talking. And as I've been going through this challenge, at the time I'm recording this, I'm about like halfway through the month and halfway through the challenge. And I've had so many revelations that I want to share with you of how to be devoted AF to your goals, to your passions, to your bigger vision, because your life really can change quick if you let it, if you align to it. What's up? My name is Sabrina, and I am your brain training coach. Here in the Better You space, we teach creatives, dreamers, and entrepreneurs how to train their brains to turn their dreams into their real daily lives. Like I just mentioned, I have my new membership, Better Your Mind, where you can get access to daily brain trainings, teachings, and a bomb-ass community to train your brain to hit your goals and feel so fulfilled while you're doing it. If you want to check it out, I'll put a link in the description below, and let's get into the video. The first thing I want to mention is the triangle of alignment. I was first introduced to this concept by my business coach, James Wedmore, and I loved it so much that I have to share with you. In order to be fully aligned with your goals, you want to be meeting the universe halfway by taking the action, and you also want to align your energy with it, your identity with it. And you might hear this and be like, yes, Sabrina, I know this. You talk about this all the time. But when you write it down, it brings so much clarity. I want you to look at the triangle of alignment. And at the top, I want you to write your goal, whatever your goal is. It can be to sell your piece of artwork for $15,000. It can be to launch your 3rd album on Spotify. It can be getting booked out with clients. Write your goal, and in the bottom corner, you want to write the aligned actions that you're taking to get there. What are you actively doing? And what do you plan on actively doing? Sometimes we can think that we are doing so much when we're not. And other times we might be doing way too much and scatter our energy into all of these different places without focusing on what truly matters. And so I want you to dump on that one side of the triangle all of the actions that you're taking to hit that goal. And I want you to see what aligns and what doesn't. Are you actually doing the things that are going to move the needle forward? What are the things that you need to do in order to move the needle forward? And are you doing anything that you need to just simply cut out and cut off the list? Instead of keeping everything in your headspace and like in your planner, like out and about, when you just jot it down in the triangle of alignment, you're able to see things so coherently, see things so clear, because we're just talking about this one concise goal here. So you put the actions on one side, and the other side, you put the energy in which you've been operating out of. I want you to write down the emotions, the state of mind. Have you been feeling disappointed? Have you been feeling anxious? Have you been feeling scatterbrained? Have you been feeling excited? Have you been feeling playful? What's the energy that you're coming at? And write that down. And then you can see from the action steps that you have been taking, from the energy that you have been operating in, whether or not you are aligned with this goal. And it brings so much clarity because oftentimes when you do this practice, you will look, what's the energy that I've been in for the past few weeks? Oh my God, like I have not been fully aligned. Or I can see where I'm aligned here and I just need to tweak things here. But either way, if you have not yet hit your goal, I'm willing to bet there is something out of alignment there in the triangle of alignment. And a lot of times taking the action helps to really shift you into that energy. Your energy can be misaligned. And as you take action, you can adjust your energy and align it as you go. Sometimes I feel like I see people almost wanting to like perfect their energy before they even take any action. And it's causing them to miss out on so much potential. It's causing them their energy to actually feel down because you are lit up when you are doing what you love. You are lit up when you are in movement, when you are in action. Like we live in a world of action. And I cannot tell you how many times in my own process that maybe I have felt resistance to, I'll give you an example. I was feeling resistant to recording one of my latest podcast episodes. So I have my YouTube channel for Better You, and I also have a passion project podcast called Shattering Reality, if you didn't know. It's a separate podcast from Better You, and all the episodes are a lot more esoteric, a lot more out there, talking about channeling, talking about psychic abilities and demons and all of these like out there topics, just because it's something that I'm so passionate about, but it didn't quite like fit the mold of what I'm doing here at Better You. And that's something that I'm like super passionate about continuing to do. And I'm going to be honest, I have been not consistent with it since I've launched it. There's been times where I have like the list of ideas and I'm just like not in the mood to record. And there was this one episode that was really on my heart to record. And the topic was on healing sexual trauma. And I wanted to share my own personal experience with it out of a state of empowerment and talk about kind of like the taboo spiritual warfare like side of things. And also talk about how I healed from it and just like the psychology that goes on behind everything. And this whole time I have this topic on my heart and I'm like, I know I want to do it, but I always like found some excuse. I was doing something for Better You. I wanted to go to the gym. I wanted to go to sleep early. Oh, I need some time to relax because I haven't relaxed. And then last night I'm in bed and it's literally like 12:30 at night after midnight. And I'm like, you know what? If I do not record this podcast episode now, months are going to go by and the energy is not going to be like as electric as it is in my body right now. And so I'm in my bed and I grab my microphone and I could have fallen asleep right before that. Like I was so tired, not motivated. And I was like, fuck it. Like this is the month of being devoted AF to my purpose and my passions. Not only being devoted to my daily Instagram posts, but just to everything that I want to do as a whole. So I start writing down what I wanted to be in the episode and I start recording. And by the end of when I finished recording, it was about maybe 2 hours later, I was so lit up. I was so alive. I felt so freaking good. And it was like just that pointer that I needed, that you're not going to feel motivated, but when you do the thing, it makes you feel alive. When you do the thing and you follow through with it, like when you're done with it, you're just like, yes, like you feel so freaking good. So even if your energy is not fully aligned, taking the action can and will oftentimes align your energy to that. So don't make that mistake and just keep going. The second thing that I want to mention, as you're being devoted AF to your purpose, passions, goals, focus purely on molding yourself into who you want to become. Detach from the outside, from the external results that you're getting right now. I know you want to hit the money goal, the follower goal, the download listens to your podcast or your music or whatever it is. I know you want those things. It's natural as human to want and crave those things. But you can only control what you can control, which is yourself. And oftentimes when we look at the external results, and it's either going really well for us, right? It boosts our ego. We get on this high, and then it's like oftentimes that can mess with your energetics, and you can be kind of like, I always say, like, being humble and being grounded, your energy, the more grounded you are, the higher you are able to go. But when your energy is up, like in your ego, and you allow yourself to get boosted from all of the positive comments, from all of the fame and the likes and the love, you lose your stability. So just in the same way that you do not want the negative comments to affect you, you don't want the positive comments, the positivity, the love, the everything, the visibility to boost your ego either. It's outside of you. You want to build your stability from within, from no matter what, whether people are absolutely loving you to people really not liking you or not giving you attention. You want to be able to hold the same stability, hold the same ground. And I know it can be challenging, and this is a practice, but when you notice yourself being more focused on the likes that you're getting and the external things, put your focus back on yourself. Are you the embodiment of the version of yourself that you desire to become? Are you the embodiment of your higher self? Do you have the values, the characteristics, the habits, the thought patterns, the emotional patterns, the energy of your higher self? And if you're like, Sabrina, I don't know what my higher self, what they look like, what their qualities are. If you don't know that, you've got to get clarity on that. There's a new identity map in Better Your Mind, or also you can get it separately if you want, but that'll really help you get clarity on that if you want to go deeper with it. But your only job is to focus on your becoming. You cannot physically force anything outside of you to come into fruition. And when you have that grip on reality around you, you almost repel. And when you just focus on the becoming and being that frequency that matches your higher self, you detach and you're like, I don't even care. When I tell you my posts on Instagram, because I have not been super active in posting the past couple of years, and my posts on Instagram have literally been getting like 10 likes. And I feel I've been practicing this, and I feel now so detached. I'm like, it can get one like for all I care. I'm focusing on myself showing up in alignment. And who is meant to see this? We'll see it. The third thing, tap into the quantum every day. Tap into the feeling of it. You know, the triangle of alignment that I just showed you, the energy. You want to practice that energy every single day. I have a different video that talks about raising your emotional baseline and how there's literally no cap to how good you can feel. And in that video, I went deeper on how in order to raise your emotional baseline and to feel different emotions, it's just about practicing them every day. Your body has an habitual feeling of feeling the same emotions, whatever it was, emotions are energy, to being in certain frequencies over and over again. And your job with your becoming is to continue to tap into this new frequency in order to get new results, in order to evolve, because we're constantly evolving and you are going to constantly want to continue to evolve. And so when you look at the energy side of the triangle of alignment, you want to tap into that. And what do I mean by tapping into the quantum? It's by, and this is something that's so powerful because there's way more energy than there is physical matter. Energetics have a much bigger impact on reality than doing something physically does. And so when you are able to close your eyes and get into a deep meditative state where you almost like forget about your body even being here, and you're just so like in your own consciousness, so in the quantum field. And then from this space, you tap into that energy, you tap into that frequency, you tap into those emotions. What is frequency? Frequency is information. When you do that and you tap into the quantum and you're in that deep meditative state and you tap into this frequency, you're getting all of this information of new ideas, new information going into the cells of your body of how to operate. If you do this every day as part of a morning practice, your body will start to remember this frequency. You will just operate differently. You will just notice without even trying, you will just notice the aligned positive thought streams coming into your brain. And if you were very self-aware, you will have that kind of realization of like, whoa, like I'm thinking different. So tap into the quantum, tap into the feeling from that really deep state. Number 4, fuck the all or nothing mentality. Seriously, I cannot tell you, I'm so grateful for where I'm at in life. I'm so grateful that I get to do what I love every single day, that I get to make my own schedule, that I get to impact people in a really deep and impactful way, rather than being a nurse like I wanted to, or being a bartender like I was before I went full time in my business. And on this journey, I cannot tell you how many times I fell off. It does not matter how many times you fall off the horse. It only matters how many times you get back on and how fast you get back on, period. When let's say you make a goal like I did for this month, and I said, for 31 days, I'm going to post every single day on Instagram. Let's say you set a goal like that. And then on day 4, for example, you miss out on it. And then you have this thought in your head of, I missed out on this day. Like, does it even matter if I'm consistent? Day 10 rolls around and you're like, well, I missed day 4. Like, maybe I'll just miss day 10 too. I really need you to know that every single step that you take is moving you towards your new identity, or it's moving you towards your old identity. And the frequency of which you take those action steps out of. Like, what energy are you embodying when you're deciding, oh, I fell off that one day, so I'm not going to do it again. Old. That's old. That's old. Like, get that out of here. That is some crusty, dusty energy. What do you actually want out of life? Tap into that yearning feeling again. You actually want the lifestyle of freedom. You actually want to be doing your passions, to be doing what you love, to be seen and heard and respected and loved and adored. And you know the steps you need to take in order to get there. You know it. Tap into that yearning and tap into that knowing that every single step matters. Especially the small ones, because those small ones are those little tweaks and they add up, babe. They add up. With my Devoted AF challenge, I think it was day 3 or day 5, one of those days. And I got so caught up in whatever I was doing that day that I completely forgot to post. And then the next day came around and I was like, oh my God, I didn't even post. And it was so early on in the challenge, but I was like, you know what? This is the lesson here. This is the epitome of, it doesn't matter how many times you fall off. You just keep getting back on, and you just keep getting back on faster. This is resiliency. You want to be resilient. If resiliency is not on your new identity, like quality list, characteristic trait list, you've got to put it on there, because the more resilient that you are, the stronger you are, the more you're able to, something happens in your life and you're able to bounce back. That is your ability to not let things take you off course. Number 5, drop the need for perfectionism. The need to sound perfect, the need to look perfect, the need for your sales page to be perfect. When you think about it, perfectionism really comes from a space of lack, from thinking there's only one way it needs to be done in order to get the result that I want. If it's not done in this one specific way, if I don't look this one specific way, if I don't say these specific things, if it's not done in XYZ step order, then I'm not going to get the result that I want. That is such lack mentality. There are so many paths in order to get to your desire. And oftentimes it's when it's not perfect is when it yields like really high results, because when you're following that perfectionism, what energy is there? Lack. It needs to be desperation. Right? I remember one of my YouTube videos that blew up out of nowhere. It brought me from, I think I was at like 2,000. It brought me from like 2,000 to 5,000 subscribers. I almost didn't even post it because I did not like the way that I looked. I was filming it in my friend's office space when I lived in San Diego, and there was like this shelf behind me, and it looked like, from my view, that it was like the shelf was almost like on my head. And I was joking to my friends, like, it looks like I'm wearing a top hat. I don't even want to post this, but you know what? Like, done is better than perfect. I was like posting 3 times a week on YouTube at that time. I was like, I'm just going to post it. It's really cringy. I really don't like the way that I look. The audio was so off. I've had so many tech issues on this whole journey. And then you know what? It started to gain thousands and thousands and thousands of views, and it was not even close to being perfect. I'm pretty sure I was sweating because the office didn't have air conditioning. The shelf behind me looked like it was a top hat. It was not it, but it worked. And number 6, surround yourself with people, with a community, with things that are also aligned to your passions and your purpose. I remember when I was in a relationship a long time ago, and I had dated this guy for like 3.5 years. And this was when I made my transition of going to nursing school and then deciding that I wanted to start this online business, and then also being super deep into spirituality. I was getting all of these visions and I was changing a lot. And my boyfriend at the time was not about it. Anytime I started to talk about my passions, he like mentally checked out and would try to change the subject. When I would try to start my YouTube channel and I was talking about my business, he told me that I should just get a job at the bank because I'm not going to make money online. And I was surrounded, because I lived with him, I had this energy around me of someone who was totally not aligned with the direction that I was going in. And when I decided to break up with him, even though I had no idea where I was going to live or how I was going to afford living on my own, when I did move into my new apartment, everything aligned so quickly and so easily. And it was like magic was happening in my life, like all of the freaking time, because I put myself in this new environment that aligned with my passions, with my purpose. What is in your environment right now that's not aligned with where you want to go? Is it your current job? Is it people that are around you? You might be saying like, Sabrina, this is out of my control. I can't just get out of this environment. Yes, you can. And I say this with so much love, but if there is a will, there is a way. There is always a way for you to become more aligned. There is always a way for you to get to where you want to go. How can you surround yourself with more people who are being devoted AF to what they want to do in the world? What communities can you get into? What people can you follow online? One of the things that I did when I was getting into the online business world and I knew no one in person who was getting into this, I binged podcasts of people who had their own businesses just so I could get like the energy of how these people thought, how these people operated, how these people lived their lives so that I could start living that way. You are constantly, there's this thing called mirror neurons, where the neurons in your brain are constantly mirroring the people around you. This is not only a neurology thing, a neuroscience thing, but this is also quantum physics. When you break down matter and energy, your energetic frequency, your vessel, it's always intertwining energy and matching the vessel of the people that you surround yourself with. Who are you constantly exchanging your energy with? How are your friends like? Are they smoking weed all day and complaining about their jobs? Or are they going after their goals and encouraging you to do so too? Put images of your goals around you everywhere. When I tell you, I have sticky notes like by my desk on the bathroom mirror. Like I have sticky notes everywhere of little reminders of quotes of things that I want to live by, of mantras. I have 2 vision boards in my bathroom mirror. My phone case right now is like this black jaguar and says the word resilience. Everything I purposely and intentionally put things around me to match the energy that I want to align with. So how can you do that? Because those little images around you, those little quotes, the background of your phone, they're all sensory cues. They're all your brain, your frequency is matching everything that you surround yourself with. And so when you make those little tweaks, one, it's fun. You get to like romanticize your life by doing these little like fun things. And 2, your subconscious mind sees it every single day. Your subconscious mind is getting more and more familiar with it. It's identifying more and more with it. And the more you surround yourself with people who are doing these things, surrounding yourself with people who are accomplishing these things, surround yourself with people who it's normal for them to just go after their goals and do what they love and do whatever the fuck that they want just because they want to do it. The more it's normalized around you, the more you naturally start to embody it. So cut out the things that are not aligning with you. You've got to just rip the Band-Aid off and surround yourself with the people and things and words and frequencies that are aligned with this devoted AF version of yourself. You've got this. Seriously, take it one day at a time and just progressively get better every single day. If you made it to this point, I love you so much. Leave a black heart emoji in the comment section below so I know who made it here. Share this video with a friend and I'll see you in the next one.